Thank you, Honorable President. Honorable Throlip.
Honourable Speaker, some members in this Parliament, including ANC ministers, believe that we can exist in splendid isolation from the United States. The fact that our country cannot break through the 1% economic growth rate, whereas sub-Saharan countries are growing at 4.2% and other developing countries are growing at 3.6%, I assume that you recognise this when you said at your SONA that you'd be dispatching forthwith envoy delegations to the USA and the rest of the world. Not only have you been beaten to this by self-appointed envoys, and your Deputy Secretary General this weekend said that there's no need yet to send envoys to the USA. Mongameli, uthepa uzimisele ukuba singohlukana neAmelika singazamanga ukuxoxa nabo malunga isikhohlakalo sabo malunga ilizwe lethu.
Thank you, Honorable President.
Honorable Speaker, yes, indeed. I did say that we will be sending envoys and delegations not only to the United States, but to various parts of our continent as well as the world. That is still our intention. And when it comes, for instance, to Europe, we will be having Europe coming here. So right now, there's no need for us to send envoys to Europe. They will be here. The President of the European Union and the President of the European Commission and others of their leaders will be here. And we are going to have good exchanges on a variety of issues that we would have wanted to exchange with them. When it comes to our continent, we continue to engage with our sister countries through the African Union and through the joint sessions of the economic communities on our continent, and we will continue through the various envoys that we have to engage. When it comes, for instance, to other countries like China and others, we've had the opportunity to also engage with them during the G20 occasions or summits that involve foreign ministers and finance ministers. So our engagements continue, and our Minister of International Relations and Cooperation continues together with his deputy ministers to travel around the world. When it comes, say, for instance, to the United States, no, we have not been beaten to it. We've been in very good preparation. And the counsel that we got, which is very useful counsel from a number of quarters, is yes, the United States is now in a milieu of being very transactional. They would like to see what transaction can be crafted with any country that they interact with. And that process is underway through our various departments. And in time, I will be able to send the envoys that should go, and they will be going under the rubric of advancing our foreign policy. Foreign policy is the preserve of the executive. Other people who keep going hither and thither, in the end, do not represent South Africa. South Africa is represented by the executive of South Africa. So be rest assured, we will be following through. The mandate we have in terms of our constitution is to ensure that what we do in relation to other countries advances the interests of South Africa. And the executive that I lead will be doing so. So be rest assured, ungothuki sizawulandela yonke into efanele ukuthi ilandelwe, Honorable Throlip. Musuhlala apho ungangcazela uthukile. Ungoyiki sizayilungisa lento. Enkosi.
Enkosi Mongameli, sizawuqhuba ngoku siye embuzweni wesithathu. Question number 3 has been asked by Honorable the Leader of Opposition. The question is about how the Government of National Unity will eradicate the glaring disparities of inequality and unequal wealth distribution which remain in line with apartheid racial classification. Honorable President,
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, honorable members. South Africa remains a highly unequal society. Despite progress that we have made in several areas, inequality continues to exist in our country. Participation in the economy and the distribution of wealth still reflects the racial and gender divides of the past, of both the colonial as well as the apartheid past. In responding to this fundamental challenge, we are guided by our Constitution, which places a responsibility on the state to take measures to redress the effects of past racial discrimination. This is specifically stated in our Constitution. Successive democratic administrations have therefore introduced various transformational measures, such as broad-based Black economic empowerment, employment equity, and other transformational policies. And they have introduced a variety of legislative laws or laws that seek to address the imperative that was stated in our Constitution. To assess progress in this regard, the Broad-Based Black Economic Empowerment Commission undertakes annual assessments, and based on the assessments they make, it has established that, yes, Black ownership in our economy is steadily improving. It has also established that women ownership in our economy is also improving, it's not stagnant. The Commission has found that since 2017, there has been a cumulative increase of assets acquired by Black people through a variety of transactions, and they have been rising on a continuous basis. As outlined in the State of the Nation address last month, our focus is on empowering those people who were deliberately excluded by law, by convention, by practice, from playing a key role in the economy of their own country. This includes Black people, with the broader definition of Black. It also includes women with abilities. We are therefore also setting aside transformational instruments, such as funding, that will, over the next 5 years, be able to assist Black people to get into various areas of economic activity, such as small business enterprises. We are continuing with the Black Industrialist Program, which is helping in many ways to expand the country's industrial base and develop a new generation or cohort of industrialists in our country. Having regard to the fact that many industrialists of the past were also aided and abetted by the apartheid regime, and it behoves on us as the administration under democracy to give whatever assistance that we can. We are working with industry players through various master plans that we've put together and other initiatives to increase Black ownership in key sectors of the economy. But we're also creating opportunities, ensuring that Black people do now have greater opportunity to play or to be active in the economy of the country, something which was previously only reserved for white South Africans. Government is also supporting the growth and development of small, medium, and micro enterprises, especially in townships and in rural areas. These businesses are vital drivers of economic growth, as well as job creation, and poverty reduction. The work underway to reduce inequality is not limited to these direct interventions in the economy. Around 60% of non-interest spending goes to programs that form part of the broader social wage. There aren't many countries in the world that delineate up to 60% to spending on social wage. When I last looked, I found that we were at the upper level of many other countries. Significant progress is being made in areas like education, which is one of the most critical instruments to reduce inequality and foster prosperity for all. We have significantly expanded access to education for children and young people. Today, more than 10 million learners go to public schools where they do not have to pay fees. Last year, over 900 students from poor and working class backgrounds received funding to study at universities and colleges, and I think this year it will top even 1 million. We are making grade R compulsory, that all children have a solid educational foundation that will contribute to their success later in life, because success should be engendered when children are still young. Through the introduction of the National Health Insurance, we are working to reduce the huge disparities in access to health care. This will improve the quality of life of millions of poor South Africans and to reduce the cost of their health care and improve their productivity. Now, through the provision of subsidized housing, of free basic services for the indigent, as well as through land reform, we are helping to reduce inequality and better enable people to participate in the economy. And obviously, the task is huge. It is huge, and we are doing everything to ensure that many people are not left behind. All these interventions taken together contribute to reducing inequality and to improve the level of participation by Black people in the economy. Now, to achieve greater and more meaningful economic empowerment, we need to grow the economy at a much faster rate and create jobs that are needed by the people of our country. That is the central focus of this administration. That is why even in the statement of intent signed by the 10 political parties that participate in the government of national unity, the very first priority is about growing our economy and creating jobs. This we do to foster the transformation that is needed in our country. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Mr. President. Honorable Leader of the Opposition.
Ngiyabonga kakhulu somlomo ohloniphekileyo. Umbuzo olandelayo ngizocela ukubuza ngesiZulu. Uyavuma yini na Mnumzane Ramaphosa ukuthi yinye nje kuphela into eyoqeda usizi kanye nenhlupheko ebantwini abampisholo futhi kuphele nendlala kanye nesikhala esikhulu kwezomnotho phakathi kwabantu abadla imbuya ngothi kanye nalabo abadla idombolo likapondo iningi labo abandlebe zikhanya ilanga. Leyo nto ke ukushintsha usection 25 we-constitution so that wonke umuntu abe ne-access emhlabeni, strain abantu bethu sikwazi ukulima sonke. Mangabe umbono wakho ungahambisani nombono we-MK party, kungani na, Mongameli?
Thank you, Honorable President.
Thank you, Honorable Chairperson. The issue of land reform is a matter that is top of mind for this administration. And through a variety of programs, through a variety of initiatives, we are fostering this objective. We agree that indeed access to land, we agree that our people working the land is a historic objective that needs to be attained. We are in the process of ensuring that we do give our land or the land to our people. I will admit that we've been slow. We have not been as fast as we ought to have been, but at the same time, a number of agricultural economists do testify to the fact that progress is being made, and it is being made in a determined manner. And when we look at the agricultural sector itself, where land is a very important ingredient, we do find that, yes, the participation of black people is still at the lower level, but it is said that it is increasing. What we need to do is to hasten that process, and we hasten it through the various initiatives and progress that we have. And as we do so, we seek to equip our people to work the land more effectively, to ensure that there is productivity on their land. And those who are already participating, we find that they are already getting involved in our various value chains, agro-processing, and a number of them are already participating in the export opportunity. And it's been a joy for me to find that some of them are in citrus exports, they are in various parts of agricultural products exports. And when we look at categories of, say, agricultural products, we do find that black people are acceding to appreciable levels, but we still need to increase that exponentially. Section 25 of the Constitution does give us opportunities. We have now enacted a piece of legislation, Expropriation Act, that is also going to give greater muscle, greater ability for us to address the land question in South Africa. So a multiplicity of initiatives are underway, and I am confident that, yes, we will finally be able to achieve the objective that our people have struggled for over the years. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Siyabonga Mongameli. Isichibiyelo sombuzo wesibili sizothathwa ilunga elihloniphekile uKJ Maimel.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable President, acknowledging the continued government commitment to economic transformation, particularly through the introduction of the Transformation Fund, what measures will this administration consider to ensure that the financial sector implements fair and transparent capital financing practices to support small and medium enterprises, black-owned businesses, and historically disadvantaged individuals, and to foster economic inclusion, especially given that research has indicated that the private sector, particularly financial institutions such as banks, may be engaging in preferential treatment in funding applications, disproportionately benefiting certain groups while disadvantaging others. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
The Honorable President.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. As one talks to a number of black business people, one continues to hear the recurrent challenge that they face, access to finance. And they always say that they find it very difficult with our financial institutions to get access to finance on favorable terms. And they often go to state financial institutions like the IDC, like a number of other institutions that we have set up and are able to get finance. One of the reasons why